Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. The PTR is upon us, giving us, the unlucky masses, without the beta, a chance to see at least a small glimpse of what is to come in Shadowlands, at least regarding class changes, the stat squishing, and also Exiles Reach. So let's take a look at this island in the sun. And before we take a look at Exiles and talk PTR in general, I want to apologise for disappearing. Last week was, the best way I could put it, a fart in a spacesuit. It wasn't expected and it was not pleasant. We had PC issues and, to be fair, just a load of RL stuff that meant no videos. But we are fully up to speed now. So yeah, can you expect some juicy content coming this week? We've got all sorts to get our teeth into. We've got our TSM series will be starting this week. General PTR shenanigans, a look at some various add-ons which I found quite interesting. And of course, a return of Wiggles, the worst rogue in WoW, who I believe is vacationing currently, because of course getting to level 10 is so very stressful. But enough of that. Now we talk Exiles Reach. Now what does this mean for players looking to start their WoW adventure for the very first time? Now at this point I will say, spoilers ahead. If you wish to keep Exiles Reach something fresh and new to experience in Shadowlands, then step away now, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for coming. For those that have remained, we shall drive straight into the story of Exiles. It's kind of the same regardless of your Horde or Alliance. There's a few minor changes to the quest, but that's about it. The general idea is a unit has gone missing, lost upon this island. One of the members of that lost unit is the daughter of a high-ranking Horde/Alliance official. So, you are sent to rescue the first expedition. Yeah, congratulations, you're on Team 2, kid. So you begin your journey on the deck of your ship. The first quest is, of course, the classic, go and punch that target dummy, or cast whatever spell you have. Then you move on to more advanced combat techniques, which is actually quite good because it gives you an idea of you always have to be facing your target. It's all very basic, simple, which is all it needs to be. Now, things are going great until a storm hits, and you are, of course, shipwrecked. Now, I won't go everything step by step. Now, I won't be going everything step by step like this for the rest of the video. Instead, if you're interested in seeing Exiles, then you can either jump in on PTR, it's there available for everyone, and see for yourself, or along with this video, I'll also be uploading a full 1 hour playthrough. No talking, just some music, and the gameplay link will be in the description. But back to our now shipwrecked crew. Needless to say, you rescue all of your fellow crewmates as a true future champion of the Horde or Alliance. Then you head further into the island, and as you go, you learn new skills, and you learn how to equip new gear, and generally just the basics to get you through World of Warcraft. Now, at one point, you are taken to the side by your expedition leader, and at that point, you're given a quick guide to how to use your first few spells, how they interact with each other. So, for instance, if you are a priest, you'll be shown Shadow Word Pain. Keep that dot on the target at all times while casting Smite. It's all very simple, but as I say, that's the idea. It's a great way to teach a new player how to combine various abilities together and to get the most out of them. Or, for instance, if you're a rogue, you will learn how combo points work. About 3/4 of the way through the story, you will gain a class-specific kind of quest, giving you your, best way I could say it would be like a signature ability. So priests, you gain the ability to res, shamans, you learn ghost wolf, and so on and so forth. It's a nice little bit of class flavour, kind of just thrown in there, and it's a shame that kind of there isn't more of that throughout the game. Another stand-up moment comes when you are turned into an ogre. You have to wave and say hello. The quest tells you need to /wave. Once complete, the quest then gives you an optional update. Hey, how about trying /dance? If you do, the ogres all around you will start dancing. Your commanding officer who's being dragged behind you will then tell you off that she told you to blend in, not to dance with the enemy. It makes you feel like the world around you reacts and is affected by you as a player. This, of course, is false, but it's a nice touch. It just adds that little bit of immersion. The final challenge to overcome is heading into a dungeon and killing the final boss. You are given 2 NPCs to act as your tank and as your healer. It's worth bearing in mind that while you're going through Exiles Reach, you don't have any specialization. You are a generic shaman, rogue, priest, healer, whatever your class may be. You have base abilities for being that class. Hence your need for NPCs to act as other roles, because you can only be DPS. At the moment, these NPCs don't work. So they simply stand at the entrance and wait for you to do all the work. So yeah, thanks for that. That obviously will be fixed by the time live swings around. Now Gratz, you have killed the final boss, you have collected your fat loot, so now it's time to fly home. At that point, I believed it was all over, and I would be sent to my faction leader, and then sent off to do the BFA starting quest lines. As a new player, that didn't feel great, but panic not, because it actually continues. The guide helps you through your capital city. You are shown how to set your Hearthstone, talk to guards to find various locations, you gain your mount, your riding skill, then you get an overview of your specs. You know, what do you want to specialise in? Do you want to be the healer? Do you want to be DPS, tanking? You can do this type of damage or that kind of damage. It gives you an overview of what you're going to be heading into. After you have finally picked your specialisation, it's then time to head for a drink. Yes, you actually go for a drink with your companions that are around you. And while you're having a drink, the guards come in, and you are summoned to see the leader. And when you reach your faction leader, the commander of the expedition is there, singing your praises. They then give you a nice little farewell speech, and that is your tutorial over and done with. Now, simply put, Exiles Reach is fantastic. The first thing that pops 100% is the graphics. Absolutely phenomenal, and a huge upgrade over what we've seen in the current starting zones, which is not surprising given the age of many of those zones. The help given is great, but there are still, in my opinion, a couple of things missing. At no point is there a guide to interrupting spells, even if it was just given to you briefly, and the last boss of the dungeon needed to be interrupted by each member of the party. That would be good. It's a shame, but you can't teach everybody everything in the first hit. The last dungeon can just be you on your own with the NPCs, or it can be you and other players. I would say that if you're going to have a new player experience, then they should be only teamed up with other new players. There is nothing worse when experiencing something brand new for the very first time to have a veteran player run off, pulling everything, nuking it down, make it so that you're constantly playing catch up the whole time. With Exiles being so good, an experience like that can taint the dungeon aspect of it, putting people off, which just pushes them more into solo content, and that is a trend that we really need to change. What is the point of trying to break the meta using covenants and upsetting the angry few if the people you are trying to help by doing that don't want to join any of the endgame group content? Outside of that, I think explaining about rares would be good, as I believe I saw 2 of them when I've done it now, and at no point is there a tutorial saying, hey, rares are a lot harder to kill, but they give far better rewards. Go for it if you want. Directing new players using the map more would also be a good idea, because you kind of get one little tip to say to you, hey, you want to look at your map, but then that's it. The on-screen icon is great, but you still need to know that there are other quests available, that they're on your map and things like that. Basic things that we as veteran players completely take for granted, but it's a very different experience to other games that new players may have been sampling out there. Now, on the whole, it's a great experience, as I said before, and one I hope that will bring a new wave of players to World of Warcraft. A large issue has been in the past, players just quit playing the game before they even hit level 10. This will, without a doubt, keep them, and I think keep them wanting more. The next hurdle, of course, will be endgame content. They reach 60. What on earth are things like raiding? What is M+? What is PvP? There's no PvP on this island, which I do think is a shame. Be good if you could. You need to talk people through it, but on the ship, maybe activate war mode, so if they want that option, they can have it, but obviously the ability to switch it off at any point. I hope at the point of endgame, and maybe along the journey through their adventures in WoW, that the new helper system that's going to be coming, that I think is very much taken from Final Fantasy, will be a step in the right direction. It will guide players into this kind of content. But at this point, it also becomes up to us. It becomes up to the vast majority of WoW players that are great people who don't speak up, who don't say anything. We need to stand up and help. Our community is a toxic sludge pool by and large at the moment. Most players just shrink back, creating this single player experience in a game that should be so much more. It's such a shame. But instead of ending on a low note, let's instead end on a positive. Exiles Reach, along with the level squash, is just what WoW has needed for a long time to attract new players. Taking all of the best aspects of modern WoW and creating a welcoming, engaging, and enjoyable experience that invites them to explore more of this amazing world of Azeroth. Now that is enough from me. Remember, my full playthrough is available if you're interested. Link will be down in the description. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.